Today we're going to finish our lesson on factoring trinomials by grouping. So this is part 2. You can put today's date on yesterday's notes, and just to recall, this is the note packet that we need. So yesterday we began factoring tough trinomials. That's when the value of a is greater than 1, and we know that the product sum method doesn't work well. Otherwise, we would have to use a bunch of trial and error, and that's very tedious and frustrating. So we said to start this process, you're going to multiply the a term, 6x squared, times 4, which will create the master product. So now we're going to make a list of factors that will create 24x squared. Feel free to pause the video at any time if you want to make the list on your own. What you'll notice is that 4 in the trinomial is positive, but the middle term is negative. That tells me that both of my factors need to be negative so that they'll add up to negative 11. So this is my list of factors, and the set that will work for me is negative 3x and negative 8x. At this stage, what we're going to do is take our original trinomial, and we're going to rewrite it as a sum of 4 terms. Remember, the negative 3x or the negative 8x can come first. What I try to do is group them so that pulling a greatest common factor is easier. So I'm going to list negative 3x first. And what I did with the dotted line is I separated the front 2 terms into a group and the back 2 terms into their own group. And we're going to pull the GCF from the front pair. So remember, you want what's common to both 6 and 3. And then x squared and x. So to me, that's a 3x that's common. In the back pair, looks like the common factor is either positive 4 or negative 4, but I won't really be able to tell until I see the leftovers in the first set. So there's my 3x, and when I divide both of these terms by 3x, I'm left with 2x minus 1. I want this factor to appear in the second half, so that makes me realize that when I pull my GCF, it has to be negative 4 to obtain the right binomial. What we'll do now is we'll take the common factor of 2x minus 1 and we'll write it twice, and then the GCF of 3x and negative 4 will be its own factor. And there's our answer to this trinomial. For example 6, we're going to multiply our a term and our c term together to create our master product. So this time we have a 3-digit master product, which means there's probably a lot more factors. So we're going to go through and make the list very logically. I'm going to start with 1 in 120. We also want to notice that our factor c is negative, our term c is negative, but then our middle term b is positive. So that tells me that there's one of each. And the list of factors is, there's quite a few here. We want to select the combination that will add to positive 2x. And I can see that it's actually the last set, negative 10x and positive 12x. So we'll take our original trinomial and we're going to write it as a sum of 4 terms. You can decide if the negative 10x goes first or the 12x. I've selected negative 10x to go first, so I'm going to pull a GCF out of the first half and then a GCF out of the second half. So again, if you want to try it on your own, you can pause the video. For me, 2x is my common factor in the front, leaving behind 4x minus 5. The quantity in the back, I started with positive 3, and then as I started to divide each term, I saw that positive 3 was correct. And now I'm going to put it all together for my final answer. And there's the 2 proper binomials that will create the original trinomial. Remember, you can always distribute to perform a check if you're unsure. Be careful of your signs. In our final example, again, we want to create the master product. And we're going to make a list of factors for 18x squared. You'll notice that my c term is positive, but my b term is negative. That tells me that both of the signs are the same and they are both negative. This is a shorter list of factors, which is nice. We want to select the set that will add up to negative 9x. And it's the negative 3x and the negative 6x. So we'll take our original trinomial and write it as a sum of 4 terms. I put negative 3x first. It wouldn't matter, you could put negative 6x first, but I'm going to pull my GCF out of each half. So in the front half, 3x is common. Don't forget you have a negative 1 when you're doing your division for your leftovers. The back half, the common factor would be 1 or negative 1, and again, you might not be able to figure that out until you start to divide. But for me, it's negative 1, and then putting it all together for my final answer. I have the common factor of 6x minus 1, and the GCF portion's 3x minus 1. This process does get a little bit easier as you go through. Our next homework then is number 98. Again, you'll be able to find that one when you look at question 1. It starts off with 6x squared plus 17x minus 14. If you have any trouble while you're going through homework, please call me or send me a text or send me an email. Don't forget to take pictures of your work in PDF form on your phone and start sending me some homework that's complete, and I'll start grading it for you. Have a great day.